Hello and welcome to the Alexandra Wenman Show. I'm so excited to introduce you to my guest today. Her name is Emma, and she's also known as Mrs Gaia from Gaia's Health Store in Southampton. Hi, Emma. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm so excited to talk to you today, mostly because I'm coming down to see you guys soon, aren't I?
Yes, you are. Yeah, in a couple of weeks' time to share your new Water Oracle deck.
That's right. So for those of you watching, if you'd like to join us in person, we're running an event on the 29th of July at Gaia's Health Store, Gaia Health Store. And it's going to start at 2 p.m. So come on down. We're going to have an amazing event. And Emma, tell us how long you guys have been running for now. When did you set up?
Yeah, so we're relatively new. We opened on the 12th of February 2022, so that's a nice day, 12 to 2022, and we opened at 22 Carlton Place in Southampton as well. So all the twos, it was all kind of aligning. So we've been going, just over a year. Luckily, we've been blessed in terms of we haven't had any COVID restrictions, so we've kind of skipped all that bit, and we've just been open and able to do lots of shopping for people and obviously workshops and events. So yeah, we've been quite blessed to kind of get over that hump and just open and have no restrictions. So yeah, just over a year.
Amazing. And tell us about some of the events that you've been running.
Yeah, so the idea was that we're not just a retail store, and luckily we've got some premises which has a little workshop space. It's not huge, but it means that when people come in and they might be thinking, oh, I need a vitamin D supplement or a vitamin C supplement. I'm not, trained nutritionally, but I'm quite intuitive. So you start talking to people, and as we were open a few months, we started to realize we need to use this workshop space because people coming in thinking they need X. Actually, it's like it's scratching the surface. There's a whole plethora of stuff they need healing, and hence why we then started getting people like yourself in to help people. So the events that we've done, we regularly do work with Kundalini teachers. So Kundalini's been a really big thing here. We surprisingly don't have a lot of Kundalini practitioners in the South. So I really wanted to get that in there because I used to do it in London and I found it a really beneficial type of yoga. So we work with quite a lot of Kundalini practitioners. We work with energy healers. So we've had light language energy healing recently with Smita Patel. We have Rahani energy healing with Karen and Joe, who are local practitioners. They also attuned me recently, so that was brilliant. We have sacred geometry. We have talks on nutrition. We have talks on the menopause. We have food intolerance tests. We've got coming up a little wellbeing event as well. So we've got Sarah Williams, a local practitioner who makes these gorgeous chakra creams. So yeah, basically the whole tarot, we do a lot of, we've had psychic nights, we've had tarot reading. So it's literally, if you're a holistic practitioner in any part of mind, body or soul, or you work on all of that, it's basically, that's the type of events that we do. So people can access more kind of mainstream therapies, perhaps like Reiki that they would have heard of more, or they can go down the rabbit hole like we had last weekend with light language energy healing. Yes, exactly. So yeah, a really wide array of events as well for people, and we wanted it to be a hub that it wasn't just retail, but we could signpost people and help them on their journey, whichever step, wherever they were on their journey to help them.
I love it. I mean, and you obviously, you've got a background in events and things like that, don't you? Can you tell us a little bit about your background in sort of the mind, body, spirit world and what allowed you to create your own portal?
Yeah, so it's been really lovely connecting with like people that I used to kind of sell to or talk to like yourself. So I guess my spiritual kind of journey was born out of just having horrific anxiety, panic attacks. So didn't have any specific circumstances or specific trauma that I could pinpoint, but I always felt like there's something more to life, and it brought out panic in me and anxiety, a lot of sort of mental disorders, as it were. And so I've always been looking, well, you know, I started off with tarot, with crystals, with theta healing, with Reiki, with everything I've tried. And I actually probably met you or started knowing about you and other practitioners in London around about 2007, because I went up to London with my friend to see the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival, which is the big event that has been running since 1977 in Olympia in London. So I went there because I'd always been interested, obviously, in esoteric, spiritual development, everything like that. Was like, oh my gosh, I love it. And then was looking for a job because I'd graduated a couple of years ago, but I wanted to move a couple of years prior to that, and I wanted to move to London. And yeah, so I went to that in May, and then in August I saw this job come up for a PR role at the Mind, Body, Spirit Festival. Didn't get that role, but then they said, actually, would you like to come on board from like the business development side? And at that point I hadn't really done sales. But they were like, no, you'll be fine. Like, you're passionate about the industry and you kind of just learn on the job. So yeah, that's how I ended up meeting, oh my gosh, like amazing, like huge speakers like Deepak Chopra, Marianne Williamson. I just was dived deep into these amazing festivals and was talking and learning from people daily, but also selling. So I did that for a really long time, and then did other jobs and stuff, and then moved back from London. And then it was around, 2014, I moved back from London. 2015, I met Andre, who's now my husband, and he's Portuguese. He always wanted to have a business of his own, either like a coffee shop or a shop of some kind. And then to cut a long story short, during COVID, the job that I was doing full time, I worked selling wholesale products all around the world, so like organic, natural products, like stuff we sell in our shop now, but to all around the world.
It's like just a quick step across, isn't it?
Exactly. So he heard me on the phone and he was like, wow, like, why don't we set up a health food store? So I kind of did like some research and I was like, yeah, I already knew it was a growing sector. So we kind of merged the two together, where he would be manning it full time. I was sort of in and out. I now work part time, so I'm still doing a little bit of selling, and I also still am in the shop as well. And so that's how it merged. His kind of he came to the UK wanting to almost like find his gold, find his treasure, build something and have his own business. So it works really well with us because it's like the yin and yang, the masculine, the feminine. He's very good at giving me confidence and believing in what we do, and then I kind of get all the ideas together and he creates it. So he's very hands-on. He built the whole shop literally with his bare hands for a very small amount of money, and that's how we sort of developed it, really. He's not from, I wouldn't say before he met me was he into this, no, but since he's met me he's done a lot of his own healing.
Got no choice.
Yeah, as a couple and on our own, and he's very open. So yeah, it's a beautiful energy. He's got very nice energy. He's like a people person anyway. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's how it developed to basically bring a retail store that wasn't just a traditional health store. I didn't want it to be like an independent version of Holland and Barrett. I wanted it to be independent with stuff like Holland and Barrett, but to basically say that well-being and health, whether that's health for your mind, your body, your spirit, is in the hands of our own, and we can signpost you to teachers to help you on that way. So yeah, that's it in a very long nutshell.
I love it. It's so beautiful, and it's like you're actually creating a community around it, and I love that. And it's I feel the energy of it as being like a portal, like a real hub, and it's lovely. And I mean, obviously you're down there and right down the bottom, and you've got like there's so many communities around you. As you said, we know Sarah, and there's lots of other kind of very awakened teachers starting to move down there, or like that already in the practice down there. So it's wonderful. Well, I feel compelled to ask you about the land and what you know of the kind of history of the land and stuff around that. Is it on a ley line? Where are you? Like, what's
so we talked about this actually with Sarah, who's much more enlightened and into all this than me. But she so obviously we are right at the base. So Southampton it's an interesting city. It's a city of 1 million people. It's got a lot of history. Titanic obviously sailed from here. It was one of the largest ports in the world. And also, interestingly, Andre is from Portugal. the place where he's from is called Villanova de Gaia, which is why we also named the shop Gaia, because obviously it's Mother Earth Gaia, but he's also from Gaia. So when I met him, I was like, oh my gosh, there's a place called Gaia. Like, it was, yeah, lots of synchronicities. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of connection with Portugal, with Southampton as well, with Porto, the place where that's obviously a massive port in Portugal. So it's very industrial. It's almost like we're shining a light here. It has quite, not to be derogatory or anything, but it does have quite a heavy vibration, which I think is why we're here to kind of help raise it. So we're about 2 hours from Glastonbury, which obviously the heart chakra of the world. And Sarah Williams was talking about the ley lines and how they're actually extending and widening. So we are pretty much in that heart chakra sort of ley line, if you were to sort of look at it like that.
Huge big ley line that comes down through Britain, which is called the Spine of Albion as well, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I have a feeling you might be in that one. And it runs all the way down the centre of Britain. It's like the Avalonian spine, and it runs through Birmingham and sort of through those main areas.
Yes.
And I've done lots of work on points in that ley line. I reckon you're probably a key placeholder of that as well, because it goes right down through that.
Yeah,
it might be interesting to look on the map and see if you're in it.
I'll definitely have a look, because we are like central south, and we probably are like very, keep driving up Birmingham, it's
pretty
a similar line,
isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. So, and then obviously we've got Stonehenge, which is an hour away from us. We've got Avery, again, that's about an hour from us. Tons of crop circles going on at the moment, like I think we've had 3 or 4 in the last month, which is like 20 minutes from us. And but interestingly, in a city of 1 million, there's lots of people doing spiritual bits, but you're right, we want to create that community, because everybody seems to be doing their own little thing. You get pockets around the UK, where there's a real strong, like, spiritual kind of well-being connection, and it's very spread out. I mean, we've got the New Forest near us as well. There's lots of people doing amazing stuff in the New Forest.
You've got the Kingley Vale with all the yew trees as well nearby, don't you?
I don't know that either.
Well, I haven't actually been there yet, but Sarah was telling me she was going to take me. Sarah, you need to take me. There's this place called Kingley Vale, apparently, and it has all these ancient yew trees. It's like an ancient yew tree kind of avenue that you can go through. Love to go. I love a yew tree. Really love a yew tree.
Yeah, no, they are. They're very special. Yeah, they are. And I think there's a reason why they're in cemeteries and graveyards, not just to, I don't know, keep
very much
so much.
Frequency.
Yeah, they are spiritual. Yeah. So that's pretty much the location, and we just need to raise the vibe and its visibility, because everybody that comes to our shop, we have people that live around the corner, have been living for a year, and they're like, oh my gosh, I never walked down this road, or I never knew you were here. And everyone that comes in, not blowing our own trumpet, it's like, oh wow, I just feel so good when I come to your space. So it's like visibility, like we need to get people out there so we can help people and connect people.
Oh my God, and you hold such a light. I'm sitting here, I'm watching your aura while you're talking, and it's white light bouncing off your head. I love it.
It's not just my crazy hair.
Keeper of the flame. I recognize you, girl.
Yeah.
I love it. And should we talk a little bit about the event on the 29th that we're going to hold? So obviously we're going to run it as it's a little bit of a launch event for the Water Alchemy Oracle, which I have buried under my pile of books. Here she is. So I always see, the way I always run events is it's less of a talk and more of an experiential kind of workshop experience. But I also feel that, you're so close to the water, you're so close to the ocean, that we have the opportunity to do some really beautiful earth service work while we run the event, and to actually do some blessing on Mother Ocean here as well. So I just remind me, am I bringing decks, or are you selling the decks in the
Yes,
shop?
not selling the decks. So I've bought my own and I've been using it. My customers have been loving it. I've been doing cards of the day. They are absolutely beautiful. Can I say? I did
I'll make
message
sure I
you.
have some. I'll bring some
But
signed
bring
copies.
some, because people will want to buy after, because I don't have them yet in the shop. And yeah, so I've been using them. My customers have been playing with them and things. But yeah, tell us a little bit more. But yeah, so you touched upon like the blessings with like the water. But yeah, anything, my customers just love it. So yeah, we've done some spreads together in the shop with our customers. But yeah, what else do you think we'll do in the workshop?
Well, I always see water as the metaphor for our emotions, really. And you know, this deck to me is very much about emotional alchemy, but also emotional mastery. And it really is about coming back into your power in terms of your emotions. And one of the reasons for it is that it's an alchemical healing tool, which actually helps to put you back in your power with regards to your emotions. And if we look at the history of how society has played out on this planet for a long time, many of us have been manipulated through our emotions, you know, through our desire body, through our astral body, not least of which by like advertising, news, media, lots of, you know, often as we're becoming more telepathic, which as we're kind of coming back into our own original birthright, we're becoming more sensitive, we're becoming more telepathic. You hear a lot of people talking about being clairsentient and empathic. All of us are that on some level because we're sentient beings. But I'm finding more and more these days, it's just natural that people pick up on the feelings and the energies of those around them. And so there's a need to discern, what are my feelings and what are your feelings, my thoughts and what are your thoughts. And it's through our feeling awareness that we can actually work to discern that. And so the practices and the processes in the deck, along with blessing the waters of the body, because obviously if you're familiar with Masaru Emoto's work, water is programmable. So the waters of our body also are programmable. And so it's about deprogramming us from any thought forms, belief systems, habits, addictions that aren't for our highest good, and reprogramming the waters of our body, the sacred fluids of our body, and our emotional astral body, and all parts of us back to our own divine will and authority, really bringing us back into our center so that we can know who we are, what we want, how to get there. And it's a great tool for manifestation. Water is very amplifying. So doing processes by the sea and by the water are great for amplification also of your desires. Everything I do is about working with the kind of what I call the diamond rainbow frequency. It's about embodying the teachings, not just about knowing about spiritual concepts, but about walking our talk. And it's all about anchoring heaven on earth. So we'll be looking at doing some manifesting, some clearing. Often I do a bit of group healing. I'll take you through how to use the cards, how to work with the cards. And also it's more than just divination, this deck. So there are different tools and techniques, some of which I haven't even published in the book, because after writing the book, which is about 144 pages thick, more information comes to me afterwards as well about how you can use the deck. So I'm teaching, you know, I did a thing at Joe's bookshop in Chinkford recently, and again at Atlanta's Books in London. And every time I teach, there's a new way of using the deck that comes through too. So it's like you get more bang for your buck if you turn up to the live event. 15:15 on my clock as we record this. So it's always worth coming to the in-person events. And they're so affordable too. I mean, what do we charge? 20
£20 for 2 hours with you is amazing.
2 hours, and come along and have a play. And I mean, yeah, my workshops aren't that affordable. So it really is good value.
Exactly.
And we just have a giggle, we'll have some fun, and we'll, you know, I think also the guides are just saying, you know, if you feel drawn to the event but you don't know why, just trust that calling. You know, there may be some part of your subconscious that really wants looking at, because the other thing about water is that we can use it to see into the soul. It's like the ancient scryers and seers water to see more clearly, and I see it like a bit of a lens. So when I'm working with the emotional body, it really helps me to see into what's going on. And often we get groups that come together for a reason. So we may be there for a reason to help heal an aspect of the land or, you know, the sea in that area. like you say, the history of the Titanic might need looking at, especially
Oh,
recently
recently,
after
yeah.
what happened with the sub. So there's, you know, there's aspects of that we may be working to heal in the collective. I'm also getting that whoever comes, there's quite a lot of activation into your own gifts and abilities. It's like opening a lens into some of your own gifts, talents, helping to pave the way into your highest future timeline so that you can really understand more about what you've come to bring to the world. It will help to amplify your own innate healer, your own innate gifts. And they're shouting at me abundance, abundance, abundance. So it can help to amplify your abundance as well. We think about water as life. And if you think about, you know, the flow of water, it can help us open to the flow of receiving more abundance as well. So loads going to be packed into 2 hours by the sounds of things from what they're telling me. And also, you know, we just have a love in. I love it. I love meeting up in person. I want to teach more in person. I've done a lot online since just before the pandemic, actually. I was really guided to move everything online. With no idea that the pandemic, I mean, I felt like something was about to happen. I didn't know what. And I moved everything online, and then the pandemic hit and I was all set up. So it feels like we're all like venturing out into real life again, and we can hug and we can, you know, have a love in and just have a really, really nice time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I, for one, can't wait to see the shop and have a look around because, you know, I've been like itching to get down there and see it. Looking at all the lovely like accoutrements behind you, it looks all decorated.
Yeah, this will be your platform. It gets changed, but I might keep with the sunflowers. But yeah, it's a little workshop space, but it's perfect for what it works well for our customer base because it's intimate. So a lot of people, what I love is that we've had so many people that have had energy treatments. They've started meditating, doing stuff that they never would have done before if we just sold them a bag of organic rice, which is all that they came in for.
I know, I love it.
Yeah, so you end up talking, and
like
it's
breadcrumbs, isn't it?
Yeah, and you'd be surprised at how many people in the medical industry that work for the NHS or research and science come to the shop and are very into that other side of exploring emotions and their own like personal development. It's really interesting as well.
We really need to bridge the worlds now. I keep seeing we really need to bridge the worlds. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, obviously I'm seeing a lot of distortion in a lot of the systems on this planet, and we're going to see a lot of truth coming to light. But what I'm seeing is a real transformation going on within a lot of the systems, the medical system included, and especially where more of the holistic and complementary therapies and more of the energy work, more of the divine feminine is coming into balance. But we need both, you know, we need to work with the systems that we have, but elevate them, I think. And you know, I feel the same about the money system, the abundance systems. You know, I, for one, you know, I like camping, but I don't really want to go and live off grid without a toilet and without my luxuries. You know, it's not really my style, darling. So, you know, I kind of want to work within the money system to say yes to abundance, you know, and clearing those old programs. So water also, it has that cleansing property. We can look at cleansing old beliefs, old habits, old addictions, old blocks that are in the way of like saying yes to living in the pleasure garden, which is you know what we came to do. And of course that pleasure garden is Gaia, and what a better place than to be in Gaia.
To have some fun. But Pete, customers have been loving your cards. I've been loving them. I'm trying to think of the name. There's one that I keep drawing that it's not Mother Mary, but she's almost got that Mother Mary feel to her.
The blessing card.
Pinky. Oh, I love that. And obviously I love the wave behind you, which is the cover, because that's just amazing.
It's like she's it's both. I feel like she's letting go of the old, but she's also opening to receive the new.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And it's,
how did you meet the artist that
Avelia? I just found her. I had an artist lined up who was the son of a dear friend of mine, and he was amazing, and he did the original cover for Archangel Fire Oracle, the picture of Ariel. and he'd done that as a sample for me, and I was like, oh my God, I absolutely love it. I think I wrote a credit for him into the booklet. And then he pulled out, and then we had a second illustrator who wasn't quite right, and I think for whatever reason, I think she felt like she couldn't work fast enough and she didn't want to take it on. And then it was third time lucky, and I found Avelia on a freelancer site, and she was absolutely brilliant. And how we worked was that it was my visions. I'm shown exactly the symbols, the positioning. I know exactly what the figure looks like. I create extensive mood boards, and I tell her what colors I want and everything. She'd do a sketch. We'd make sure all the elements are in the right place. And then it was me, my agent, and my publisher were all approving each sketch. And then we'd go, right, can you color it? And she'd color it, and we'd just be like, wow. Archangel Fire went really a lot smoother than the Water Oracle, I have to say. For some reason, there were some weird elements to the Water Oracle, but water is so unpredictable. Little things kept going wrong. We kept getting blocked by things. There were different things going on with print pricing because of the pandemic. They'd pushed them out. And we just kept hitting up against obstacles and having to move through it. And we had to soften, and we had to open. And my guides kept saying, become like water, become like water. And I was like, I'm trusting the universe. I'm becoming like water. Just work through me. And it all worked really, really well. So it's beautiful. But I think with my next projects, we're going to try something slightly different. I'm probably not going to use the same illustrator. We may use her again in future, but I've got a few other irons in the fire that something slightly different is going to come through next. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with how they've worked out. And I mean, as a pairing, those two decks look so pretty. And and with the book too, I didn't realize, but if you sit the decks either side of the book, all the colors match. Like there's the pinkish purple, and then the blue at the bottom. That was a complete fluke. I don't know how that happened. So just meant to be.
It's always meant to be. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, maybe bring the angel ones down. Is it fire angels, did you say?
Archangel Fire Oracle.
Because I haven't played with those, so bring those two.
Oh, definitely. I'll gift you a copy, honey, if you want, as a sample, so that you can play with them.
Yeah.
And, I'll bring a few copies down so they're available for people.
Yes, people will want to purchase, because we don't have them for sale yet in the shop. So yes, definitely.
I'll bring a selection, and then it's nice if people want signed copies, I can do it as well. So
yeah, exactly. They love it.
And then we'll see how we go. I mean, usually it's everything I do is bespoke to the group. So whatever the group needs, we tune into the energy of what's necessary for us on the day. And usually there's quite a lot of channeling that comes through as well. And we just we'll have fun. So I can't wait. I'm so excited. Yeah. So 2 weeks on Saturdays, the 29th of July, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. £20, which is an absolute bargain for you. When I approached you, I was a bit stage. I was like, hi, could you come to my little tiny store? When you said I was like, thank you so much. Oh, honey, it's such an honor. But it was weird. It's the timing, isn't it? Because it took us a while, like water again. It took us a while. I kept forgetting to get back to you, and then we chose a date. And then I think I had the wrong date. You had a different date in the diary. And then I was like, I'm meant to be coming on this date, but I had it in as July. And you went, well, isn't that interesting? Because I can't do either of those dates. And then we were like, okay, we finally have a date. Water.
Exactly. Yeah.
Love it.
But yeah, really excited. And I think it's something different and new. I know people obviously have worked with water for millennia. But yeah, the deck is unique. And yeah, if anybody's watching and they want to come and see the deck and chat in the store, then come and see the deck and chat with me, and you can have a play with them. But yeah, I've been doing a little cards of the day and stuff, and they've been great. Yeah.
I love it. And can you remind us, can you just tell us how people can find you online too? Because you have a website and you have social media.
Yeah. So pretty much if you put in Gaia Health Store on Google, we will pop up in some vicinity. But if you want to go to the website where you can see all the events and obviously book your event, So it's www.gaiahealthstore.co.uk. I'm guessing most people that subscribe to your channel know how to spell Gaia, but it's Gaia, just in case. So gaiahealthstore.co.uk. On Instagram, it's again all one word, Gaia Health Store. Facebook, Gaia Health Store, and you'll see us. It's a little tree woman, actually. So it's Gaia herself that's a tree. And so yeah, we're quite easy to find online.
I'll pop all the links to your website and your socials below the video here, and links for people to book, because I know you do have the events link for people to book through there on the page on the website.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Perfect.
Perfect. Oh, well, thank you so much, honey, for talking to me today. I can't wait to come down and see you in person and give you a hug. I think I think you and I go way back to probably when I was at Prediction, and
yes, it was Prediction.
Yeah, we did. And the same thing with me and Steve Nobel. He was at Alternatives and I was at Prediction. So yeah, look at us all doing our own thing now. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Yeah,
great entry. I love it. Good training ground it was.
Yeah, definitely was. But yeah, it's funny because I keep seeing people like, and I was like, I'm sure I've sold you. So I saw Andrea Webb, the crystal lady, recently, and I was like, I'm sure I've tried to sell you something. And then I met Sarah Williams with the creams, and then I'm sure Prediction magazine, we were doing some swap or advertising thing when I was at the festival. So yeah, all these people, yeah, it's interesting to see.
Yeah, and you were talking about Kundalini yoga, and do you remember Gemma from Prediction, Yogi Gems? She's one of my besties. She teaches Kundalini yoga, so she used to run our Kundalini page within the mag towards the end. Yeah,
I mean, it's all over London, but there's not much. I mean, we're just so lucky to have, so we have Aminjot and also Jasdeep, which are local Kundalini, but yeah, it took me a while to sort of scout them out.
Wow. Well, you're finding all the people and you're bringing them all together and you're creating a network. I love it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Emma, Mrs. Gaia, for speaking to me today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your channel.
Oh my God, you're so welcome, and I'm sure we'll do it again. And I just want to say, for those of you who are watching, hope to see you in person on the 29th. Please come and see us. And you know, even if you can't make it on the 29th, I hope you get to go in and see the shop and have a visit and go say hi to Mr. and Mrs. Gaia. And yeah, and I'm so looking forward to coming down. I'm already planning my journey, honey, so I will see you very soon.
Good. So that's great. Lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for watching. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.